I'll tell you a strange story. This is the old Portreath to Poldise tram road that used to service the mines up around St Day and Wheelrose from the little harbour down to Portreath. And as a farm student in my late teens, I used to work in a farm just over here at Mola. And I used to cycle up and down every day. It was a little bit more open than it is here now. And a little place a bit further on here, I used to fall off mid-cycle. I don't know why, but every time I went on, we would fall off. I felt pretty foolish about it, so I didn't say much to anybody. Used to get off on one pedal and go the other side. Now, many people have asked me over the years how I became a dowser. Well, we're now going back to have a look where I think it originally happened, naturally. So let's go along and have a bit of look and see what we might find. I believe 'twas a little bit further on. Yes, I think 'tis about there. So I'm going to try my stick and see what sort of reaction that I get here now after all these years. Longer than I like to think about. Go! Let's have it. Go! Now, if I was looking for water in the ordinary way, I would just get a reaction in one place. But 'tis all along here. Very, very strong. Very, very, very uncomfortable. Don't like that too much. Now, what's the relationship between that and falling off the bike? I've got an idea. Now, if you would hold that for me a minute, one form of divining rod is, this is a piece of welding rod. Now, if we bend that, like that, and like that, into the form of a Z, and we pressurize that, that acts as a divining rod. So I'm going back and start again and see what happens. You just put pressure on that, like that. You can see what a strange thing it is. People might think I'm just doing it, but I tell you what, if you were to share the rod with me, you'd soon know whether it's for real or not. Oh, that's enough of that. Now, my idea is that the pedals on the bike acted just like that Z-rod. Of course, I came off. Sounds a bit foolish, but that's how it happened. That'll do. That'll do. Proper job.
Today, in Cornwall, some people still lead a way of life which has direct links with the original men of these parts. Men like Donovan Wilkins still farm the land and rear the stock it often only grudgingly supports. The Wilkins family, though trained to full-scale farming, only keep a small holding today. It's not their living. That lies deeper. But a sideline they can't let go of. The wool from the Jacob sheep is still homespun. Don's wife, Margaret, does that, with the same care and skill that used to be handed down from generation to generation as a matter of necessity. But the Wilkins lead a much fuller life than would have been possible way back. They are surrounded by things they care for. Their living lies beneath the earth and rock they live on. Don Wilkins, water diviner and borehole driller. You'll get him on Truro 560-645.
I'd like to tell you a bit about the tools of the trade. You don't really need any of them, because in fact I can see water. What I can see, I can't tell you, but I do. However, we still use witnesses, and this is one of the old traditional water finder's tool, the forked stick. And it's just a piece of stick out the hedge, but it's not. This one in particular is a very special stick. I did a great deal of work on the Scilly Isles, where I think you might said we could have transformed their way of life over there on some of the islands. And this told me well. Unfortunately now, it no longer works. It's worn out. It's earned me a good living. That's what I can say about that one. It's held in a special way, which we can see later on. But I would like to tell you about some of the other witnesses. And one in particular is this colour wheel, which I believe was discovered by an Abbe Magyar back in about 1840. It tells you what you believe it to tell you. And I use it in conjunction with a stick. It's blank on the back, and I might hold blue like that. Completely different information than I would have otherwise. Now, I believe that the colours of water are blue, white, and purple. And if I get a reaction to the stick for that colour, I know I'm over water. Very important thing. It also tells me other things. It can tell me whether there was water there, a remembrance. It can tell me depth. It can tell me the information coming from elsewhere. It can tell me salt water or foul water. They say that's holy water, but that's another story. So there is another witness that we use assisting us to find the water. Now, I've got two others here. One is a bottle of soda water. You think, what on earth do you want that for divining? Well, there are occasions when there's water in the ground, but you can't get it out. And if I hold that and get a reaction with the stick, I know the water's under pressure. But if there was no reaction, I don't think that I would drill it. And that saved me a lot of trouble, but to find it out in the first place was quite a lot of work. Now, this is a very strange thing. It's called gizmo, and there's only one man in the world that I know of who can make it. And I feel very privileged because he gave it to me. And at the time, he was demonstrating the use of it, and I thought, there's a nonsense if ever I saw one. However, it has the property that if this is placed on the floor, and what I'm looking at is not true water, it may be ley lines, force lines, energy lines, all sorts of things, that will stop the stick. I had difficulty in believing it, but I do now. And that's improved my success in water divining by 10 or 12%. So there you are. There's the tools of trade. You don't have to believe it, but I do. And with this, I find water. And that's a wonderful thing to do.
Wonderful indeed, although the use of bits of modern plastic may seem inappropriate to such an ancient art. But they do nothing themselves. They're not magic. The point is that they concentrate Donovan's mind, and dowsing seems to be a thing of the mind. That it works seems undeniable. Scoff as you like, Don's record is impressive. Farmers pay him good money to find water, and farmers are not the sort to throw their money away on mere mumbo-jumbo. Peter Kent farms 300 acres at Polventon Farm near Liscard, and he's chronically short of water. So he calls in Don and Margaret Wilkins, not as magicians, but as a practical team.
Well, then I think we better look up this way. Yeah. So if we can go in through this gate. Now, I aren't going to ask you to believe it, but somehow or other, I see water. So I hope that it is clear enough to be able to look round and see what I can find. I brought Mrs. along with me. I had to call her the sorcerer's apprentice, see?
Yes.
She isn't always right.
No.
But she doesn't do a bad job, and she does help. Now, I can't tell you what I'm looking for, but when I see it, it'll be so clear as though somebody put a flag up.
Yes.
Only reason I can explain it at all was like an uncle of mine, he knew. He said, "Oh, you do know like you do know." I don't know. We just have a look bit further. We've got power in this house here?
Yes.
So that's somewhere
Power
nearby.
there, and there's power again on the right-hand side.
There is. Oh, that's probably gone.
Already, Don has an eye to success. Power will be needed to pump the water when it's found. He knows that. So does the farmer. And so does Fred Libby, the land agent. They're not out for a bit of amusement. To them, as to Donovan, water is business. The deal, no water, no pay.
Now that feels like water. And when my old mate said, "What's that feel like?" I said, "Well, like water." Yes?
Yes.
All right.
I thought so.
All right. Let's have a look. What can we find?
Surely everyone knows that if you dig down far enough, almost anywhere in rainy old England, you'll hit water. But most of that's just seepage. A working farm needs moving water, and a lot of it. So Don's looking for underground springs with a lot of force.
See, I'm looking for where two or more courses cross.
Yes.
Because you'll always get more water, say, there than you would there, or there.
Yeah.
And sometimes they cross like that, and sometimes they're one over the other.
Yes.
And this is what we want to find out. So I'm now going to ask Margaret if she'll check it out. Now, she's a bit more sensitive than I am in some ways. She picks up odd courses that perhaps I don't. I'm attracted to water, and my stick goes forward. But Margaret's repelled by water.
so
Don't make no difference. You've got to be careful, don't get smacked in the face.
Yeah.
In fact, we've really got 3 courses. See, there's an extra course coming in there. Now, I sort of see the water and believe 'tis there, but I've got to think of all the reasons now why I shouldn't drill it.
Yes. Yeah.
And if I can eliminate all them, then I'll chance to drill it.
Yeah.
So, having done that now, in the course of divining, I found that there's lots of things you can detect with a divining rod, and they aren't necessarily water. They are ley lines,
Yeah.
influence lines,
Yeah.
force lines, in fact, all sorts. And as a water diviner, I got to be able to eliminate them.
Yes.
So we've been round and we marked out where they think they are. I got a little magic block here, which has got quite an influence on diviners. And when you put that on the floor like that, if it isn't true water I'm looking for, it can make completely different movement on the stick.
Yes.
Now, we got to find the actual centre before we make an assessment of what might be there in quantity or thing. And believe it or not, but we use colour.
Yes.
You don't have please this.
No,
It's all a lot of rubbish when you think about it. No matter whether you believe it, I believe it.
Good.
That'll tell me exactly where the centre of the meeting places are. Because if I thought he was where my right foot is, I wouldn't draw him where my left foot was. From experience, we know you can miss that.
So close as that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's very
Oh, yeah. I got very strong evidence to prove that, which I can't go into now, they're in time. So, we'll have a look for centre. There. Just to add to the fun, if I want to know how wide it is, I'm interested to see the how wide that course is. So you saw the stick act there in the middle. I'm now holding purple. And purple, to me, and it depends on different people, will give me a reaction in different places. I expect, which is there, that position. And not there, but there. Now, you're looking a bit skeptical of me. You come and have a go, all right? Come on. Come and have a go. Now, just put your hand out like that. Proper job. Now, turn your hand out. I'm going to make the stick activate it by bending it. Can you feel that?
Yes.
Now, lift your arm a little bit. Can you feel there's life in that stick?
There's something moving me.
Well, come on. Come walk here now. Keep your hand up a little bit. Now, I'm going to start thinking about water. Well, hold on to it. Letting the stick go for it. Now, we were saying about colour.
Yes.
Right? Well, you all it. You all blew in that hand. Now, you felt that stick go up and down like that.
Yes.
But blue only answers to the count of 1. Now, I'm going to start thinking about centre. All right? And that's pretty well over that peg. I'll get Margaret to check it out in a minute. Now, see, I can't get... That stick won't come back.
No. No way you can force them back.
Yeah, out of interest, if you like, in a minute.
Yeah.
She'll... Could you help us on this one?
Yes, of course.
When Margaret does depth and quantity,
Yes.
she'll come and whisper to you what she finds.
Yes.
Then I'll go and do it, and we see how close we are. But I will give you a figure, which I will undertake to find for you.
Yes.
And if I don't get that, I'll do another all for nothing.
Thank you.
I'm fair, aren't I?
You are very fair.
Can't be
Guarantee.
Guarantee, yeah. Not very many people will do that. In fact, not many dowsers will actually express an opinion of what it is. Now, if you like, go and tell him what it is. You can record it, I can't hear it, or whatever. Now, I've got to think. In a sense, I asked the stick. I start about 30 feet because I mentally disregard shallow water, gives nothing but trouble.
Yeah.
So I say to the stick, is it 30 feet?
Now, I find the water at 60 feet, 120 feet, 140 feet, and 200 feet. The stick tells me that there's 800 gallons an hour, of which I would expect to be able to find 400.
Right.
I think
60, 70. Now, I can just sort of feel that. So let's say 75, 76, 77. Now, that's where I think there's water. 77. 80, yeah, still there. 85, and again there. 90's dropped off. 100, 110, maybe. 120, yeah. 130, yes. 140, 150, 160, coming in again. 65, look, quite a lot of water there. That's 3 courses we found. 165, 170, 180, 190, 200. No, I don't get a lot after that. So then, let's see what we can find in the way of quantity. I think I ought to say here now, the stick will tell me so much.
Yes.
But I aren't likely to get, it's like the oil wells, they don't get out all that they would like to get out. We shall get some of it. And depending on the nature of the ground, in the end, I'll give you a figure. So
yes.
I'm going to work that down now. And, well, the stick is saying to me about 7.5, something like that, 750, which is a bit more than what we would expect. So I think, to be realistic, we were talking about 400 an hour. So that's about 8,000 odd gallon a day.
Well, that'll satisfy us, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. I think that was what I would be prepared to contract with you to find.
Yes.
Can we check the figures now?
Yeah, yes, that's right, yeah. Well, the figures I got were touching water at about 165, 65, 66, 67, but it was still there, 70 to 80. Then I got another one at about 120, and a further one down at about 165. In that, you know, give or take 10 feet.
And the quantity?
Well, the stick said 775, but to be realistic, I wouldn't expect to get as much. They said, Mr. Kent, if we can get about 400, I think if I find him drop more, you'll be happy, won't you?
Delighted.
Yeah, that's right. Even so, that's 8,000–9,000 a day.
Yes, yes.
You think very much alike, because your wife's figure was 60 as against 65 or 66.
Yeah.
You both agree at 120,
Yeah.
and your wife suggested 140 and 200, and you said 165.
Yeah. Well, I suppose for husband and wife, I didn't too bad to agree that much.
And the actual yield is exactly the same.
Yeah.
The overall
Yes,
total
we
is
agreed on that one.
775.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Your wife said 800.
Yeah.
You both agreed that you get 400
yeah.
yield.
So,
So
that
that's-
didn't too bad.
ties up very well.
So there we are. Put my money where my mouth is. That's where I'll drill all to find you that amount of water, if that will please you.
I'm delighted.
Right. So we'll go off and look for another one now. We'll better pick this up. And before we go, if you don't believe it, they that can't and went got pay they who can and will.
Right.
One month later, and the Donovan outfit returns to prove what up to now might only be the twitchings of a stick.
Well, here we go. Here's the moment of truth. See, it's easy enough to walk around with a piece of stick and say, I think there's water there. Now I got to prove it.
You've got to prove it, yeah?
I got to prove it. Well, I think I know there's water there, but what we don't know is what the actual ground is. Really, it is a journey into the unknown.
Yeah.
I suppose we know there's a bit of slate around because there's the quarry down there on the main road. And there's the slate quarries over at St. Neots.
Drilling's expensive, and Donovan's ready to put his bore down where his mouth was. Helping now is his son, Ralph, who's a dowser in his own right, as well as being in charge of the drilling rig. He's checking to find the exact spot for the bore.
I feel confident enough that we shall find it. I'm going to look a bit silly if I don't, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I should be very disappointed. Anyway.
Well, this is one of the fascinations of the job. If 'twas easy, I don't really think I'd want to do it.
No.
But at the end of the day, I won't pat you on the shoulder and say you want for water, no more.
More water when we get down to the 65.
Isn't that a wonderful sight when you see it coming up now? Sometimes you meet what we call nuisance water, or even a pocket of water where there is water there but doesn't maintain itself. And the dirt does tend to hold back the water, as does the air pressure down the hole. Eventually, although it may not look like it at the moment, it does come pure water. Did it change the note, does it?
That is 3 gallons in 45 seconds, which is equivalent to 4 gallons to a minute, which is 240 to 250 gallons per hour. Per day would be somewhere around 6,000 gallons per day. That would be enough, perhaps in an emergency, you know, for to carry through, but I would think that we would ought to get up to somewhere 10,000 to have a safety valve.
That makes me feel happy when I see that coming up the thing. I'm quite anxious moments when you start to think, my gosh, I wonder if I have got it right. But the job satisfaction is enormous when you get it right. There you are, Mr. Kent. We found the water. I come months ago and said to you that as a diviner I would find you water suitable to your needs. Well, we found the 400 gallon hour, which I hope you're pleased with. Some don't believe in diviners, but all I can say is you were walking around on it, and there it is. And, well, let's see what's it. The proof of the pudding is in the drinking.
Truth?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Let's have a look and see what we can find. There are lovely clean water. How about that? Woo! Are you happy with that, Mr.
Delighted, sir. Delighted.
Good for you. Well, come on, time for us to be going home.
That's right. That's super, isn't it?
We'll leave them to do the rest of it. I'll see you tomorrow.
So everybody's happy. And more important, they've stayed happy. For well over a year now, a strong and steady supply of excellent water has throbbed and pulsed up the hole that Donovan's team made, where the diviner said it would be. Though exactly how and why he knew, even he can't really say.
There's no magic in my work. Dowsing is a natural phenomena, there for our use. I only consider myself to be an ordinary person, just making use of that natural phenomena. I look for water, just as the old people have done for generations. It is a very ancient art. Moses, in the Bible, struck the rock with a stick and the water issued forth. He was dowsing, wasn't he?